No worries.
Anyway, gentlemen, thank you for joining me. Even though I completely forgot about this, and Jack had to be like, are you doing this?"
I was in the middle of a COD game.
He's
Actually,
Just
we
go
can.
for it. It was all
That's the
planned from the
water.
beginning.
playing COD, and I was like, Luke.
He just come on the chat. He's like, "You got a meeting now?" I was like, "Do I?"
We should all go through and introduce ourselves quickly.
Can't
Joel,
hear-
tell us about yourself.
Well, who starts?
You, Joel, tell us about yourself.
Okay. Wait, I need to start some stuff.
It's gonna get a script.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear Dave.
Yeah.
Quietly.
Yeah. Okay. Script. I have like those cards. Okay. I'm Joel Schmidt. I'm 16 years old and I'm from Germany. What should I tell about myself?
No, that'll do.
I
That's
started. Yeah. Okay.
good.
Oh, he's gonna carry on then as well.
Yeah, go for it, Luke.
What?
Your turn.
Okay. I'm Luke. I'm 18 years old and I'm from the UK.
Hooray, Jack.
Hey, I'm Jack. I'm 24. I can't even remember. Am I
It's been a
24?
long lockdown.
How don't you remember your age?
No,
He's
I'm
just going,
24.
Mum, how old am I? When did you have me?
Oh, I'm not. I'm
He's
25.
He's looking
I'm
at the
25.
passport. Oh shit! I'm 32.
I'm 25. There we go. I'm Jack. I'm 25. I'm from Milton Keynes in the UK. There we
Big
go.
up the Milton
Lovely.
Keynes massive.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dave.
wicked.
Hello, I'm David Simon. I'm 30, from Essex.
Woo.
Hey.
Phil.
There we are.
Hi, I'm Phil, and I'm 28, and I'm from Bath in the UK.
And you can't see him.
Is that
I'm-
Bath or Bath?
Well, I mean, the profile picture says it all.
Yeah. I
And
think I've used your arms at one point.
I don't. I think that was someone else's, not mine.
and I'm your YouTube host, Cammy. I'm 33. Bigging up Ashford, Kent. Big up the Trashford massive. So I thought we should all talk about LeMans because we didn't really have like a debriefing or anything. So it'd be kind of good to get everyone's thoughts of how they think it went, maybe how we can improve. But I've kind of got a few talking points, but I thought we'd start with practice. How do you all think practice went? Do you think you got enough? Is there anything we should do maybe to improve practice sessions so you sort of feel ready for the event in future?
Okay, gotta be honest, you guys did enough practice, I didn't do enough practice, and you were able to see that in a couple of stints where my consistency was kind of lacking.
There's a big red cross on Joel there.
I only practiced like, in total, 1 hour for a 24-hour race. I mean, how stupid is this? But I still managed to get the best out of it, even though I scraped the splitter, I would say, twice and destroyed the floor once. But I think for only 1 hour practice, my pace was quite good actually. And
It was really good.
in the night, yeah, couldn't have done better. And the disconnect made it worse, but let's ignore that.
Yeah, you got pretty angry at that point. Like emotions were running high for you.
I don't know how you come to that conclusion. I mean, it's only
No,
like
it's crazy.
I only did like 4 stints in a row, and that was the last lap. And all the time I gained, lost.
That
Oh,
happens,
well,
though, doesn't it?
Jack shared a link that had every single Le Mans race split, every single driver, every single sort of best time, average time, fastest lap, which lap it was. Jack and Luke were right at the top, actually. They were like 2 of the fastest. I think the top 4, 2 of them, it was those 2. Like, how do you two, like, how much practice did you get, Luke? Because I know Jack and I had quite a bit.
I learnt Le Mans the week before, but I put in a lot of hours like in that week. I was on every day for maybe 3 or 4 hours. So yeah, I definitely put in the time for that. To be fair, I did a hell of a lot of time in GTE. Not as much in LMP2, but I think once you like sort of master GTE or get close to the limit in GTE, you can transfer that over to LMP2 pretty easily.
Yeah, I found it quite similar to the Formula 3 cars, just sort of a slightly slower Formula 3 car.
Yeah.
Less grip.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, as to practice, I think we all did pretty well. If we could try and get a team practice on the go with
Yeah, I think we should do
doing in like night stints and day stints, hot weather, cold weather, mixtures of all the both, and then we can compare each other and give tips to each other as well. I think that'd be the best time instead of doing sort of our own sort of practice sessions every now and then.
Yeah.
I know a few of us did join up a couple of times, but we can try and do it all as a team event in a much more prepared fashion. I think it will pay off quite more.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think once you get to
Yeah.
those top splits, there's a sort of real professionalism and sort of devotion where it's not just, you can't just rock up and do well. Those are the teams sort of putting in the serious sessions as if, like real racing.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I've watched in the Beeler guides and stuff, and they've got a session up 24/7. I see him in every ILMS race. And that ILMS the week before was incredibly important to just learn what was going on. Like my first ILMS race I did, I mean, I was just miles off in comparison to where I was at the end. And that helped me so much for the 24. So there's always going to be that week running up to it. I think we should all, devote ourselves to doing maybe 4 or 5 races in that week and just see where we are competitively, and then you get to learn races and where you can overtake and where you can't, how to let GT3s pass or GTEs. There's so much time to be gained in the traffic and just traffic management. I properly
How
learned
to
that
let
around
Le Mans
Daytona.
prototypes by, Jack?
Yeah, I know. Luke's definitely right with that. Definitely right. I mean, traffic management is massive.
Yeah.
Learning racecraft in a race is brilliant. I mean, that 2.4 hour race that I did was about a week beforehand. That was excellent practice. I learned so much. I was
No comment.
Dave didn't have the best times in that one. I was really finding it hard at the start, so it was same for Dave. But I grafted through it, and then afterwards I learned so much that I wanted to do it all over again. So I think that was another big bonus. To do something like that as a team as well would be awesome for good practice for everyone.
We
What
could even
happened
do
to
it
you?
with Ford or something.
My engine
Yeah,
blew up.
definitely. Your engine blew up. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't even know you could really do that, but.
If you hit the radiator on the
I can.
side.
Oh yeah, you were saying if you're gonna have an impact, have it head on. Don't have it
Yeah.
side on because you'll wreck your radiators.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good that I only had head-on impacts.
Yeah, so I had a side on actually, but I was quite close to the pits, so it wasn't too bad.
Managed to limp it home, didn't you?
I did, which brought up another thing. I was talking to the year 1 race guys, and they said, "Oh, we have separate channels where like one person will talk to the driver, and then we'll have like a living room sort of chat where it's not interrupting the driver." And I think I was talking to you at the time, Jack, and it was this debate on the fair amount of driving.
Yeah.
And so I was probably working out like, oh yeah, how many laps would you have to do for the fair amount? And I thought I was coming up to just one of those little kinks to the right on my way to the Porsche curves, but I was actually coming up to the Porsche curves themselves, and just, yeah, a blind person would have taken the corner better. But it was amazing.
That may be something to think of as well. Like generally, some people find it harder to concentrate with people in their ears. I mean, I've noticed quite a lot lately that doing practice sessions alone, no one in my ears, just grinding it and really focusing hard can pay off quite a lot as well. So sometimes it's not all about having them chit chats as well. You might just do the boring bit and focus up quite a lot more. You can start to find that time.
Sure.
I must admit, I think having a spotter in your ear is quite good, because Cammy, you helped me so much during my stints, and that little tiny LMP 1-2 seconds behind you really helped.
Yeah, there was a couple times when I can't remember when I was driving. It might have been after I'd taken over from Luke, and for a while I think somebody might have gone to the toilet or something. I didn't have anyone, and then I looked at my, look at the relative. Okay, there's no one coming. There was a couple GTEs behind me, but obviously what I didn't see was just off the chart was an LMP1 quickly coming through, and then holy crap, like they just blasted past when I didn't expect them, and I might have been drifting to one side or the other just to get on my racing line. So it can be scary. Yeah, that was a point I wanted to talk about with Mark Grauer, number 888, who took Jack out. Just sort of take us through it from your perspective, Jack, because I couldn't. The replay didn't save properly. Only got the last hour of the race, so all we've got is what was on the stream, and we weren't too happy.
I think I sent a gazoo into the TFC General, so you can have a look at it from there.
Well, that'd be a good thing to look at. Yeah, my general thoughts on it. I mean, at the end of the day, you're always going to be angry at the time. I know the guy didn't 100% do it unintentionally, but it was a poor move. It wasn't great. Obviously, I come up onto the GTE traffic, and he come up onto both of us as traffic on the exit of a corner. I had to wait for the GTE to sort of move out the exit of the corner so I can keep to the left. He tried to overtake as well, but he almost ran into the back of me. He lifted off. As I started going past, I thought, well, I'll just hold my line. Moving around the track could be unpredictable at that point. So I just stayed on my line, and then obviously that LMP decided to go to the right, which was unexpected considering the GT was on the right, but as soon as I saw him move to the right, I moved to the left of the side of the circuit, but he somehow drifted straight back over to the left and went into the side of me, and it took us both out. So it was really unfortunate, but
yeah, it was just dreadful. That was that was just completely and utterly his fault. I mean, he just drove into the side of you. It wasn't even there was a move there. It wasn't even going up the inside of you. It was completely
on a straight line.
A straight line. He just drifted across.
It was bizarre. For anyone who watching this who didn't see it, Jack was overtaking the leader of the GTE class. Jack was running third at the time, and then this LMP1 who was 15th in his class, I'd say tried to get past, but I don't know, they just sort
didn't
of
do a good job of it. Yeah,
didn't they got away with it quite freely. They had a little bit of damage, but it was nowhere near as bad as yours. But I think they retired later in the race anyway. Wouldn't surprise me if they sort of got involved in another incident.
Well, how did Alonso say it back in Italy 2017? Karma?
Yeah, maybe. Well,
something like that.
Like, what was it 12 minutes of repairs it cost us, and then we were 2 laps down, and then sort of when I had my off, it was like, well, it doesn't even matter now because we'd lost that fight for the lead anyway.
4 laps down from that incident, and then another 3, wasn't it? So it's 7 laps from, and then we held that gap the whole time. So we had
then we made it up to the Hungarian team. So who drove through the night? Who actually drove when it was black?
Me and Luke. Luke and me.
I
and
drove
Dave.
up until about 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, Dave.
I did practice for it, and then I ended up driving sunrise.
Yeah, you were going to be doing a night stint, didn't you? But we changed our schedule around quite a bit.
I took pity on Luke.
Yeah, thank you for
he
that.
hadn't slept at all, and it's really hard to just force yourself to sleep.
Yeah, it was difficult to be fair.
Some mega stints at 6 in the morning with no sleep.
Just sat there like.
You did a cracking job. Absolute cracking job.
No,
Did you see? Was it Kevin of Year 1 Racing? He just sort of fell asleep in his chair.
No, that's Ash. Ash does
was that Ash Beard? Yeah, Ash Beard.
He does that every special event that's over 12 hours.
Oh, so that's not new.
No, it's not new. I clipped him falling asleep at Bathurst 12 hours and sent it into the iRacing clips, and they put it on the clip page.
Oh, brilliant! I've got to find that.
I've clipped I've clipped this LeMans one as well. I'm hoping to see it on the clip page as well.
Oh, if I can find it, I'll sort of crop it into this video at a later date. At the moment.
Yeah.
So, yeah, then we were chasing the Hungarian sim team, and we had a deficit of 2 laps to them, I think, and then we managed to get that. Then we managed to catch right up to them, largely thanks to Jack doing. I think you did sort of 4 stints. Did you do 4 stints?
I did.
Have we lost Jack?
Wi-Fi.
I thought it was my Wi-Fi gone.
I love how it just looks like he's puckered up for a kiss.
Well, hello, Jack. Oh dear.
At least it happened after the race.
That's disturbing.
Yeah, better time for it to happen. Yeah, we were chasing. Drac had done 3 or 4 stints. He sort of mixed them in with me, so I did 2, then he did some more, then I did another 1. We were chasing the Hungarian sim team. I wasn't able to get past them because they had this real, Luke is the only sort of real racer. You agree? I guess you either brake when you're coming into a corner, or sort of maybe when you're coming out of a corner. Like you go in fast and come out slow, or you go in slow, come out fast.
Mm.
But he was sort of braking in the middle of the corner. It threw me off because they sort of went in quite quickly, and then at a point where you think they wouldn't put the brakes on, they put the brakes right on the apex, whereas I nearly went into the back of them.
Mm.
I think Murray Walker described that, or Mansell described that was what Senna was doing, like at Monaco in '92.
Hello, I'm back, I think.
Hello,
back.
yeah, you were freeze framed with your lips puckered.
My PC just crashed.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Right, I'm back. I can't even remember what I was talking about.
we were just talking about chasing 9th place, and I was saying like the Hungarian team, they had this strange thing of sort of braking on the apex.
Yeah, so I mean, I remember I did a triple stint the tyres when it was just starting to warm up as well. So it was like a bit of a risk to try and capture as much as possible. But it sort of came into our favour that they're changing tyres every stint, which is quite an unusual move. But it played into our hands, and I think that's possibly part of it. Started. We caught up quite a lot over the whole period of time, being about 6 laps down from at one point.
Yeah.
I think they missed field as well, didn't they?
Yeah, and then on their final stint where Joel was in the car, they either misfueled or they had a drive-through penalty for track limits, something along them lines, because they came in the pits twice. But yeah, it's good battle at the end there, but it's a bit of an unusual strategy by them.
I really wanted to get the move done on track. It always feels more satisfying to get on track, but at the same time I didn't want to go into the back of them with their strange sort of braking technique. Just as I wanted to get on the power, they slammed brakes on.
Yeah, I think they were just holding on the brakes way too long into the corner, weren't they?
Yeah. I meant to say, sorry, go on.
The thing that I noticed with the Hungarian team, after the night stint, only 2 drivers were actually driving the car, really. Because it was always like Peter, then the other guy, and then again Peter. It didn't.
Was it they lost their fastest guy?
I guess so. I guess he was not interested in driving anymore, and the team had to be carried by those 2. And I guess.
Sorry.
And I guess the fatigue kicked in, and they did some not really thought out driving.
They were just sort of not concentrating on what was going on around them. They probably didn't know they were in a battle for a position.
No, probably not.
Yeah, that Georgie Rabb only did 87 laps. The other 3 did 100 laps.
We're sort of neglecting Phil because we can't see him.
I know, yeah. Phil, are you there?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, sorry.
I was going to say, talk us through your first stint.
Well,
how much fun was that?
It was I was loving it, absolutely loving it. It was hard work to say the least, I must admit. I mean, like I said, it started off pretty bad in the formation lap. Just started lagging really badly. Cars just kept disappearing. I'm sure you saw it on your stream as well.
That might be the quickest incident point in Le Mans history.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I mean, it was so frustrating. Obviously, after all the practice we'd done, myself, I did it for at least 10 to 15 hours that week, just doing 2-hour stints all week, like you guys as well. But yeah, it's just frustrating that it ended so soon. And yeah, it just kind of screwed the race up because obviously the strategies had to change, and obviously you guys had to do extra stints and stuff. But again, something we have to learn from next year for myself. Obviously, I try and get better internet, I guess. But yeah, it's a shame. But you guys, like I said, you smashed it throughout the night, and then in the morning and stuff like that. You did absolutely amazing. So yeah, well done to you guys, really.
Because I think Joel, myself, and David's times were very much, they fitted in split 6, whereas Jack and Luke, your times were like you could be in split 1 and 2.
Thank you, but yeah, me and Luke were assessing it. I mean, Luke was nearer the top end to the top to mid end of the split one with his times. So that's really impressive. Really, I mean, that there's amongst of likes of Max Benecke in there, which is Mr. 10K himself. So
yeah,
be around that area is just crazy fast. And then I think I was on to the lower half of split one. So to be on the pace of some of the drivers in split one, I'm pretty happy with myself because I don't class myself as a split one driver yet, I'd have to say. But Luke certainly got it in him. So
yeah, thanks for that. No, I think we all did a solid job. You know, it was. Yeah, I think it was tough at times. Like, I think there was certainly a point where we all thought, "Oh, is it worth carrying on?" I think it was definitely worth the experience of doing the 24. You know, I think I've done 2 now, and this is the first one I've finished. So it's you know, it is a challenge to get to the end, full stop, and it's always good to have the experience working as a team and figuring out the stints and just overcoming different obstacles. And this will put us in really good stead for the Spa 24. So, you know, it's I think we're looking strong for that as well.
Yeah.
So I've admitted to my own crash. Phil had his lag crash, but Joel, what happened at the PlayStation chicane?
Fact.
Okay. So my lap times were actually quite decent because I was watching Luke's driving style and how he took all the corners. So I was trying to adapt to it, but then on the exit of the PlayStation chicane corner, I don't know, I took a bit too much curbing, and because the curb basically sagged down a bit, the car went unstable. I overcorrected, and then it basically spun me around. Thankfully, only hitting the splitter. I was quite pissed because I know that I had pace to catch up to the guys ahead of us, but again, coming to the practice stuff, I didn't do enough practice, which is just stupid of me, and I could have done a lot more, but I don't know what the problem was.
Do you think you'll do some more like ILMS stuff in the future?
Yeah.
What again?
Will you do more ILMS category racing in the future?
I don't know. Depends. If there's like an upcoming 24-hour race, for example, Spa, I will definitely do some of the ILMS, but at the moment I'm not doing it.
I think the Spa is only a 6-hour, isn't it?
No, it's a 24.
There is a 24.
It's only GT3
Actually,
cars.
25 this year. Yeah, because it's the time zone changes on the date of the race.
Is it actually 25 hour?
It is.
That's pretty cool. I didn't actually know that.
Yeah, that's
it is.
rarity.
It's been confirmed that it's 25 hours. So yeah.
Oh, how'd that feel? You've just done an hour, and then that hour you just drove means nothing. You've got to do it again, essentially.
I kind of like that.
Yeah,
So
that's
Actually good. It means we won't have the half stint at the end, which is quite cool.
when is the 24 hours of Spa?
It's very soon, actually. So.
Yeah, it is soon. I think it's maybe a week's time, 2 weeks' time.
Really?
Oh, I don't think I can.
Yeah, it's not far away now.
Focused on the sim race as well.
It's only GT3 cars, am I correct?
Oh,
It is.
no.
So, like summary of the cars, I've been doing a lot of testing. It will be subject to the balance of performance on the day, but I think the Ferrari is looking really strong. It seems to just be completely overpowered in GT3 at the moment, just mainly because it's got 0 to no drag. I think like Daytona last season, it was quicker than the GT down the straight or something stupid. So yeah, that's something that we definitely need to all be testing in and stuff. I've downloaded a few setups and stuff, and it feels pretty good around there as well. It might just be running maybe a higher wing than they've been putting on, because the rear end's so unpredictable on that thing.
Cool.
Yeah, I've not driven the Ferrari as much. I've driven a bit of GTE. Handling sticks quite tricky to get master it, isn't it?
Yeah, GT3 is difficult. It might be worth doing a bit of VRS just in preparation for that as well. I farmed the VRS Monza week and I learned a hell of a lot about the Ferrari in that week. And then when it came to the IMSA, I just found it easy in GTE because the braking's so difficult in GT3. So you got to be just under the ABS, but when you get in GTE, and you can proper sort of edge it in then, and you can go in on the brakes and use it to your advantage. So yeah, it's good to get to learn.
Good.
Well, I've driven the GT3 Ferrari in Jimmy Broadbent's 3-hour endurance race for like, I don't know, 1.5 hours. The thing with the car is it's just, or with probably all the GT3 cars, they are quite sensitive on the rear. I don't know if it was the setup or if it's iRacing, but they are not easy to drive.
If they let you change the, what was it, Jack? The preload diff.
That's on the GTE anyway.
But if it gives you the option on the GT3 as well,
You can change diff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that might help as well.
Possibly. Sometimes diff's more effective in slow corners. But yeah, for sure, preload definitely helps.
Yeah, because I remember the GTE, we kept coming out of the final corner at Lime Rock, and a few of Jack's mates and that were spinning, and I was spinning, and then they turned it down from, what was it, 150 nm down to sort of 110 nm, and then the back of the car suddenly stopped spinning when you sort of eased off the gas.
Yeah,
that was a really weird thing.
And it was almost sort of seeing the car in the other sectors there as well. So it sort of it was sort of making it slower in the other sectors, but then easier to drive in the others. So
yeah. Say Lime Rock Park with that horrible chicane.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think any of us would.
I'm glad we're not going back there anyway.
I kind of like Lime Rock a little bit.
Yeah, I know you do.
Even Lime Rock when it's got that little chicane.
Oh,
he loves it.
Yeah, it's my farm.
He's not the only one who likes it.
Yeah.
No, I don't. What do you think of Sebring?
I've not done too many hours around there.
No,
Yeah,
same.
I think Sebring's one of my nemesis tracks.
It's flat, it's bumpy, and those first few chicane bits are very narrow bit of track, and that's all sort of. When Spa-Francorchamps is my favourite, and it's a wide, flowing, uphill, downhill track, Sebring is like the complete opposite.
Sebring's difficult.
Yeah, it's very unique track, Sebring, but I do like it. It's quite a cool little track with bumps and different road stuff.
Yeah, I've just got to sort of.
Hopefully, my performance should be better soon because my new wheel should turn up on Monday. So
Good.
Cool.
Happy days.
Go on,
Thank
what
you.
wheel?
Thank you, Ford.
Yeah.
TSXW.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
And I've also ordered the TCLM pedals as well.
That's the load cell.
Loads
Yeah.
of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mentioned them in a previous video because I was like, oh, I really want to be able to try them. I
I'm
did
gonna
like the Thrustmaster wheel at Autosport, but I got a Fanatec.
Yeah. I'm certainly in the route for an upgrade at some point.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, what is it you use?
I've got Fanatec Club Sport stuff.
Okay, so it's similar to mine.
Yeah, it's average, but it's hard to get within 0.2 of like the proper pros, just because like I just can't feel that precise like brake release, that just cadence braking going into the apex. I just can't feel where it's going to lock up. Like I can hit the initial fine, but then on my bleed off, I'm just really struggling, and I think that's where all the time is in iRacing. It's just all on the brakes, and understanding where your minimum speed is. So for sure, I think I need to get these pedals sorted at some point. But I've sort of done a temporary solution right now.
What's the temporary solution?
I've wound them right out, so it's got like a lot shorter travel.
Okay.
Yes, it's got a lot shorter travel, but it's really hard to sort of modulate. Just because if I had it too long, the initial bit is like flickering, so it's only like part of my, I don't know what it is, but it's like part of my load isn't working. So when I'm driving around, if I put a little bit of brake on, it starts spiking.
Oh.
But if I put a lot on, it stays fine. And then if I'm just driving and my foot's off the pedal, it's coming on randomly.
I get you.
Yeah.
That's obviously saying with the connection.
Yeah.
This is what I have to deal with. I don't know if you can see this.
The light. Oh wait.
So, can't see that. Can you see that? That's
It's
my
a bit
grip.
dark.
That's my grip of my wheel.
Oh,
Tear it off. Get it off.
it's peeling off. Yeah, just
Yeah,
like
so
a
it's
plaster. One shot.
Just peel it off and tape it up.
Yeah.
I've got a new wheel on Monday. I'll just.
Oh,
That's
true.
some radical design choices.
Will you sign that wheel and give it away to someone as a lucky prize?
Yeah.
Yeah, I might do.
That's sort of a nice giveaway.
I might get Luke to sign it the way he drives.
Ooh. Also, I might be able to do that for you if I see Luke at Brands Hatch. Yeah, whilst you're on my YouTube channel, Luke, tell everyone where you'll be on, was it like the 6th of August? 7th?
Yeah, I think it's the 7th. I'm down at the touring car event, racing British F4, which would be cool. It'll be for the first round. Hopefully, see you all there.
Well,
Yeah, I'll be there.
I should be
I'm in
I should be
Germany,
marshalling
so
it.
no.
So if I'm
We'll fly you over.
if I'm still living in Essex, I'll be marshalling it. If I'm not, I'll see you at Croft.
Cool.
Croft. So
Cool.
is that where you're moving up towards?
Yeah, 5 minutes from Croft.
Oh wow. Okay.
Sweet.
Aye.
I've
Croft-
never actually raced Croft, but I love the track. It is
It's
awesome.
an
track.
amazing circuit. It is an amazing circuit.
It should be on the iRacing service.
Yeah.
It's coming to iRacing. It's coming to
Is it?
iRacing. They
Really?
announced it. Yeah,
When?
iRacing.
Oh, nice.
iRacing announced that it's coming.
Awesome. That is needed.
that is
That's
mega
cool.
news.
That's cool. Yeah.
I just love the change of light on David's face then.
Yeah. Yeah, that is brilliant news. That I like the sound of that.
Yeah. Cool. So we can stick around and talk afterwards, but I'm going to wrap this up for the YouTube thing. So everybody say bye-bye to the YouTube viewers.
Au revoir.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for watching.